around? Welcome to Teasing the NFL. I'm Daniel Saludo along Andrew Chang here. We are in the midst of the late afternoon games he's getting ready for. He is getting so ready for it because we are previewing the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Houston Texans.
Hey, there we go. I like that.
However, Baltimore is the favorite in this game at -7, and the total is 50. So Baltimore gets teased down to -1, and Houston gets teased up to +13. Your over gets teased down to 44, and your under gets teased up to 56.
Ooh.
So this is a interesting game to say the least. But I mean, honestly, if you ask me, the immediacy of this, what I think is going to happen, I think it's kind of close to a near rinse and repeat of last Thursday night. I don't think Houston is good enough overall as a team to even come close to what they did in KC. I just don't see it happening. If anything, they could get blown out more.
Man, someone's sipping on the haterade. But
it's not haterade, it's the truth. When your coach is Bill O'Brien, it's the truth.
You do make a couple good points. I will say I'm a little torn between the numbers.
Why?
First of all, I think if the line's going to move, which I think it will, I think Baltimore on Sunday in that late afternoon, I don't think it'll be a -7 anymore.
No, it won't.
I think it'll probably be like a -8 or a -8.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Possibly a 9, depending.
Right. So with that being said, if it's -9 or 8.5, and you get teased to have 2 touchdowns,
over 2. Yep.
I like that.
It's good value.
Yeah, especially for a Houston fan that thinks, yeah, we can keep up, but at the same time, I did watch that KC game. It wasn't.
It didn't look good.
It wasn't good as a Houston fan. You're just like, oh God, it's gonna be a long season, and that's exactly what it is. Kind of dragging my feet on this one. But the other number that I'm really looking at, which might surprise Danny, is the over.
No, it doesn't surprise me. I actually do foresee this as a pretty high-scoring game.
Okay.
Last game was a high-scoring game against KC, and the over in that was 48.5. So this is actually a lower total to tease.
Right. And the only concern I had for that game was that the Texans just were not scoring.
Yeah. And they weren't until Deshaun Watson ran one in at the end.
Yeah. So without that, I don't think they would have.
No, they wouldn't have covered.
They wouldn't have covered the line for the teaser over.
Yeah.
Right.
Let alone the total.
So actually, when you perceive value, it's like, oh God, that was a close one.
That was a sweat.
Yeah, that was a close one.
That was a sweat. Yeah.
But that concern of the Texans not scoring really got to me. Mm-hmm. But I think, Texans are at home, which doesn't really matter anymore. But, I feel like they have gotten their stuff together just a little bit to prepare for the Baltimore Ravens. A little more tape on Lamar Jackson, although I still think he'll be completely unstoppable. Way too many weapons, and we don't do so well covering tight ends. Mm-hmm. So that's Mark Andrews is going to have a field day.
Again.
Yeah, and he's been making some great plays.
Yep.
Even the throws that Lamar is kind of off a little bit, but he's just able to just snatch it out of the air and just get it. So I'm not going to lean towards any teams, but I'll lean towards the over.
Okay, all right.
Which is
it's very, very plausible. I don't disagree with it at all. It would be like a 1B for me, but I really think the smash play is absolutely Baltimore -1 here. It's way too good a value. Baltimore will win this game. There's one argument against this in that Baltimore plays KC next week, and so they could be looking ahead. But that doesn't matter in this game because Baltimore wants to win the game. If I was just betting the spread, I would worry about it a little bit with the spread at -7. But to tease it down to -1, just say go win it, they're going to win it. Period.
I like that too. And the only reason why I think I like rooting for the over is because, man, this is my team.
It's your team.
You know what?
I get it.
Hey, there's no denying. I had Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews, the 1-2 punch combo last season on my fantasy team, and they were virtually unstoppable.
Yeah.
And I don't think that I think teams will start knowing how to play against Lamar Jackson, but as I said in earlier videos, I just don't think that the Texans are that team.
I don't think so either.
Especially, I mean, you got a good preview. Even like watching the game when they were playing KC, and KC just giving it to the Texans defense. Yeah. They were gassed. I think the defensive our windows on defense as a Texans fan is closing for sure. It's not where it used to be anymore. I think a lot of people are going to take advantage of that. Just hopefully we'll be the ones that take advantage of that. So I like the over. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring in the game. Doesn't matter from who. Yeah. Because even if Houston gets like 10 points, I feel that the Ravens
will put up like 35.
I honestly feel that way.
They could easily.
I mean, it's not wrong for me to think that way. If you really know this team, I mean, this guy was throwing like 5 touchdowns for how many games like last season?
Yeah, he did it quite a few times.
Yeah, quite a few. So it's just like, all right, if he can get it by himself, you know. Yeah. That and their defense isn't really the Baltimore defense. Danny says
excellent. Absolutely, they're excellent.
Okay, so with that being said, maybe a nice little pick six. And playing from behind, so you just never know.
Absolutely could happen. And I do actually like that over 44. Very, very gettable for two teams that can score, especially for Baltimore. This game is actually good enough, in my opinion, to actually just do a single game tease of Baltimore -1 over 44. It's actually not a bad choice.
Yeah.
Especially if you just want to concentrate on one game and not have to like basically flip the channel or track other stats. It's actually a pretty good choice. But I'm not the biggest fan of dual games unless you actually have to. That's why I just want to go with Baltimore. Baltimore is a lot more of the near gimme, and that's what I'm running with. So I actually like it together. I kind of like it. Individually, it's a good choice as well. Baltimore -1 over 44 points. Both are very, very, very gettable.
Yeah, definitely agree with Danny on this one. Actually, you know, if you miss the afternoon games and it's like too late to bet, and you just want something like this. It was almost like when I missed my bet last week and I had that game.
Oh, New Orleans over. Yeah.
Yeah, the New Orleans and the over on the New Orleans Tampa Bay game. Yep. So I'm figuring it as one of those situations where I can just be like, okay, I'm not gonna bet on Houston, but I will say if I missed my noon bets and there was one game that I had to pick for the afternoon, this would probably be on the top list. I would have to say, all right, tease Baltimore down to just winning it and the over at 44. I like those odds. That's just
I do too.
Yeah.
And we like what we're getting at here.
Even though I'm wearing this awesome shirt, it's just...
First 2 games weren't going to be theirs. But that's okay. Plenty of games to be played.
Yeah,
plenty of games for them to be played. But that'll be it for this video. And again, it is over 44 and Baltimore -1 over here for Andrew Chang. I'm Daniel Saludo. Don't forget, if you like the info, if you like that, like that.
Don't like that? You like that? Like and subscribe. Leave us some comments down below. Negative or positive, we don't care. Feedback is feedback. We appreciate it. Definitely show your friends, tell your friends if you're a Texans fan. Let me know why I'm wrong, or, you know, just let me know why I'm right, because I am.
Maybe. But until then, don't forget to get your bets in, get your money in.
Keep on watching, America.
And
Keep
don't
on
forget
watching.
to be a tease.